Yo, what's up, people? Okay, so I haven't done a serious Sunday video for a while, and well, technically, not even technically, it's just not Sunday right now. It's actually Friday, as I'm sitting in my car, trying to record this video, and I figured I'd just kind of do it as a one take. I think I try and do this without editing afterwards and just put it out. So this might potentially be a longer video. We'll kind of see how it goes. But I just want to talk of some of the things that are on my mind about some recent events. I appreciate that especially if it does end up being a longer video, that not everybody's gonna particularly want to sit through and care about what I have to say. It is what it is, but for those that do, for those who are interested, hopefully what I have to say, what I'm about to say, has some merit or some, help or something. We'll see, and let me know what we think, of course, as well. But yeah, just regards to this whole thing with Simone Biles, the United States gymnast that pulled out of the Olympics, talking about mental health and that whole thing, and kind of the reaction that's gotten. And I'm thinking about this because I see like a lot of different responses, and there's a lot of people in favor and in support of her doing that, because at the end of the day, it's her rights to do so. I mean, I totally understand that it's an upsetting thing in terms of, I'm sure her team and her coach and nobody really wants her to put out. I don't follow gymnastics I don't follow gymnastics at all, to be honest. But I hear people say that she's the greatest of all time, and if indeed she is the greatest of all time, and she's deciding to step back at a crucial moment, I get it. That could massively impact the chances of winning a gold medal. In fact, I think they went on to win silver. Like I said, I'm not really following it, but I think I heard about somebody won a silver. I'm sure. Maybe not that. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. But I get it. I get that it's not something that everybody wants to hear. But at the same time, it's like, okay, that is her choice to make, and she has to think about her own life, not just in gymnastics, but beyond gymnastics. She's 20 something right now, which is, I mean, I don't know much about gymnastics, like I said, but I think 20 is like ancient years in gymnastics, I think, or something like that. But I'm sure those guys retire like mad early, so it's like the equivalent of like an 80-year-old or something. I don't know. But it's she has to think about, her life, in gymnastics and beyond gymnastics, and decide for herself what she feels is the best thing for her in that moment. And if that is deciding to take a step back, then it's deciding to take a step back. But that's not really what I want to talk about, though, because just one of the responses I saw to it that really caught my attention, which was somebody posted something like, if it was a man that did that pull out the Olympics, that they wouldn't be getting the same sort of compassion or support. And I'm thinking about this because on one hand, I feel like if it was a man, I would still want to be in support of that. Like I say, they have to think about their own lives. They have to think about their lives within the sport, outside of sport, and figure out what's best for them in that moment. That being said, if I'm being completely honest, I think at least a part of me might be the type of person that might make jokes about it. I like to make jokes just anyway. You guys know that. Well, some of you guys hopefully know that by now. And so I think that a part of me will be the type of person that makes fun of it. And I think out of the people who are in support of Simone Biles, if we're being completely honest and really looking inwards within ourselves, I think at least a few of us wouldn't be particularly in favor or in that much support if it was a man doing it. And so I do feel like there's some truth to that statement. If it was a man, they might not be getting the same kind of support or as much support for pulling out. They might be ridiculed a lot more, even by some of the same people who are supporting Simone now. If it was Simon instead of Simone, it might not go as well. So I'm thinking about it. I feel like there is a truth to that. But then I feel like it's not enough to just say that. It's not enough to just say, well, if it was a man, it would, he wouldn't get that support. I don't think it's enough to just say that. I think the next question is why? Why wouldn't a man get as much support? And I think when we look at our society and, say Western culture, right? It is very much set up so that a lot of men don't feel like we can take breaks in that kind of way. We don't feel like we can just put our mental health first and stop, whether that's because, people ridicule us, whether that's because, we maybe lose our jobs. In fact, that's a big part for a lot of people, especially when it comes to finances. We're not all in a position where we can just stop working for a while. I mean, if you employed, you might get, say, holiday time, but if you need more than the holiday time that is allowance, that you're allotted in your place, then it might not always go so well when you're like, I feel run down now, I feel exhausted, I feel like I just need to take another week or another couple of weeks. No, a lot of us don't get that luxury. Whether it's we got bills to pay, we got kids to feed, we got things we're trying to do, all different kinds of responsibilities. A lot of us are not really in that position. And then further to that, I saw somebody post this once, which it said something like, only women and children are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved as far as he can provide something. And again, I feel like there's a lot of truth to that as well. Like, we are often feeling like if we are not providing, then we are useless. And again, it's not enough to just say that. It's, why is that? Why is that the case? And I mean, I'm sure the answers that goes back hundreds, if not thousands of years in, how we've cultivated a society that values, money over everything, or the ego of man over a lot of things. And although that's true, and although that's something that I feel like we all need to be mindful of when we are going through the world, that our society doesn't always give men the compassion that we need. That's something to keep in mind. It's not enough. I don't think we should be then saying, okay, well, because it's like that, then Simone Biles doesn't get to take, you know what I mean? Like, that's not Simone's fault that it's that way. That's the world we created. And it was like that long before Simone got here. And it's unfortunate that a lot of us don't get that. But that's, I feel like, the things that we need to be working towards, where people can consider their mental health more so than we do. Because I get it, I get it. I've worked pretty much since I was like 16, and I get it. Like, when those bills are coming in, and you're looking at it like, shit, man, I feel exhausted. I feel run down. I feel like I don't want to do anything. I feel like I don't want to even get out of bed, let alone go to work. And you just force yourself into doing it. And you can do that for a little while, but eventually things catch up with you. And when they catch up with you again, it's like a lot of us are not always in that good financial position where we can take time off. So I understand there's a frustration when somebody is in that position and they are taking advantage of the fact that they're in that. Well, to be honest, let me not say it is, because then I don't know what Simone Biles' financial situation is. Maybe I'm somewhat assuming she has some money. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know. I'm sure she's got more money than me, at least, anyway. But so maybe there's an assumption there, to be fair. But even if she hasn't, there are people that do, and people are in a position, and I totally understand that frustration when you see that, because we then look at ourselves like, if that was me, I don't get that opportunity. I don't have that luxury. I don't get to do that. And it pisses people off. I get it. I 100% get it. But that's not Simone's fault. That's not any person who is in that position's fault that they get to do that, and we don't. That is fundamentally down to how a lot of us, all of us, in some form of fashion, have cultivated this world that we now live in. It's our attitude towards a lot of things. It's our attitude towards life. It's our attitude towards ego. It's our attitude towards just how we do things in general. And it's not a new thing. It's been like that. It's been like that for a long time. And this is really just the results of it. we don't get to be mad at somebody else because they're not affected by it, or at least not as affected by that thing as we are, as much as we are. So it's a shame. It's unfortunate that, you know, we don't get to do that, or that men don't always get the compassion that we need, that we don't, that when we talk about wanting to take breaks, no, we're often just, oh, just get on with it, or just suck it up, or just, you know, walk it off, you know, that's what we get, or stop being a baby, stop being a this, da, da, da. That's what we get, you know, that's what a lot of us get, at least. But it's been like that, you know, and it shouldn't be like that. And I think we all need to be aware of that next time somebody is talking about feeling run down and feeling like they need to take a break. And I don't know what the answer is in terms of people who, you know, work jobs and have contracts and have to work such and such hours, and how that works in terms of taking a mental break when you've already had your holiday, or you've already used up your sick leave, and you still feel like you need some more time off. I don't know how that works in those situations, but somehow it needs to be figured out. Somehow it needs to be figured out that we can do that, that we can all be able to think of our mental well-being, because that is important. You know, it is important that we get to do that. Because when we don't, what happens? You know, we have breakdowns. We lash out at people that aren't the reason why we're feeling so bad in the first place. Maybe take it out on our family or friends, sometimes violently, you know. Sometimes we take it out on ourselves, you know. Sometimes it leads to no longer being here, you know. So as much as I'm looking at it, it's like, yeah, we don't always get that. I think it's important to acknowledge and remember that that's not Simone's fault. Let's not be angry at her because she can take some time off. That's what we should be looking at and saying, that's what we all need to be able to do. And somehow we all need to be able to do that. Not just whether you're an Olympic athlete or the best in the world or the greatest of all time, not just for the people who have money, but for everybody, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're the greatest at what you do, whether you're the worst at what you do. We all are struggling with things, and we all need time to ourselves to figure things out. And sometimes that time goes beyond the, you know, holiday time that you're allotted, or the sick time that you're allotted, or for those who are maybe self-employed. Sometimes, in fact, for those who are self-employed, it might be even worse, because if you're not working, you're not earning. You know, there's no holiday pay when you're self-employed. There's no sick pay when you're self-employed. If you're not working, you're not earning. So, but even still, you need to figure out how you manage that without running yourself down, without starving to death. And you know, you shouldn't have to choose between the two. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to choose between whether I pay my bills this month and go crazy, or whether I don't pay my bills this month but don't go crazy. You know, you shouldn't have to be able to choose. It should be, you should be able to do both, you know, and find that balance. And that's going to be different for different people. You know, it's going to be how you handle that and how you manage that is going to be different for different people. It's not going to work the same way. And that's another thing I think as well, when we're talking about this, that what works for one person might not work for somebody else. There isn't just a one size fits all type thing. It's going to depend on the individual and their individual circumstances, and, you know, the type of person they are, the type of things they've been through in their life, the type of things, you know, that's, you know, that works for them as an individual might not be the things that works for somebody else. And that's something that needs to be considered as well. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully that made some kind of sense. Hopefully that made some kind of sense to somebody. I feel like I know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I'm just talking and it just comes out. But yeah, hopefully that made some kind of sense. But effectively what I'm really saying is that I get it. I get that, you know, we don't always get the compassion that we need. I get that we often feel like if we're not providing something, that we feel worthless, or that we feel that our, you know, our value is diminished as a man, you know, that kind of thing. And whether man or woman, I get that a lot of us aren't in that financial position where we can take time off because we got those bills coming in and we got to do this and we got to do that, and we can't always think about our mental health in that way, and we just got to push through. I get it. But at the same time, that's not for us to then be like, oh, because that's how our situation is, then Simone Biles shouldn't be able to take time off, or we shouldn't give her the compassion for taking time off just because we don't get that. You know, I think we still need to show her some support, and we need to figure out how we extend that same support to others, and how we figure out in a work environment how that works in terms of us taking time off or balancing work and mental health, whether you're self-employed, and figuring that out on an individual basis rather than being angry at somebody else because they're in a position that we're not, you know. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, serious Sunday, except it's not Sunday. What should we call it then? Funky? No, that doesn't make any sense. We'll think something. Anyway, guys, till whenever, if ever, peace.